From stealing cars in alleyways to running billion-dollar cartels, the crime in GTA has evolved just like in real life. In 2001, GTA 3 changed gaming forever. This is what we call the basic survival era of crime, but its portrayal of crime was still raw, simple, and reactive. You wasn't just building empires, you wasn't just running global operations, you were just a solid man in a cold city doing what you had to do to survive. And that survivor is our game's protagonist, Claude. Claude was just a blank slate, no voice, no grand vision, just a pawn of Liberty City and its brutal criminal underworld. From the Mafia to Yakuza, every faction used you to get their dirty work done. Missions were quick, violent, and often short-sighted. The jobs paid small money and loyalty never lasts. There were no properties to buy, there was no cartels to run. The streets of Liberty City were straight, cold, and dangerous. And Claude by no means was rising to power, he was mainly surviving the fallout. This era of GTA had nothing to do about wealth or glory, it was more like not dying before your next job. GTA 3 set the foundation, but the future of crime in the series would become much bigger, bolder, and more ambitious. Moving on from the cold streets of Liberty City, we have now dropped into a neon-drenched 1980s Vice City, the era where I like to call the birth of the drug lord, a place where cocaine filled empires and violence built reputation. The storyline was not about being a pawn anymore, it was only about becoming the boss, because for the first time in GTA history, you weren't just doing jobs for others, you were building something for your own. Our Vice City protagonist is no other than the man himself, Tommy Vercetti, and he was sent to Vice City by his boss, who was Sonny Forelli, to expand the family drug operation. Tommy was ruthless, street smart, and strategy. Players didn't just take orders, you brought companies, eliminated rivals, and you claimed turf. From the nightclubs to the ice cream drug front, each mission was a step towards dominance, until eventually you weren't just waiting for the cartel, you were running. And these characteristics were shown in missions like Rub Out. And one bloody afternoon, Tommy took what he felt he was owed. Diaz was dead and the mansion was his. Tommy taking over the mansion, symbolizing his rise from an errand boy to a full-on drug lord. After killing Diaz and Rub Out, Tommy realized he needed a steady income and not just brute power. He then decides to rebuild his operation the old school way through protection rat. He then went on to meet with Ken and Lance in the mansion to discuss taking control of local business, stating that if they don't want to play nice, well mate. He then went on to destroy property in 4 different stores, causing the store owners to agree to pay protection money. At this point, Vice City didn't just fear Tommy, it financed him. During the last mission, we see everything Tommy built come under siege. Tommy literally clawed his way to the top, but in the final mission it showed us that power always comes with a cause, betrayal, blood, and isolation. The man who was sent to Vice City as a pawn ended up killing his boss, betraying his family, and ruling the city on his own terms. This is what we call the Scarface Rise, but the only difference is Tommy actually survived. This marked the first GTA game to let players taste real power. You weren't just stealing cars, you weren't just laundering drug money, controlling the streets, and ruling the city. It was the moment that GTA evolved from street level chaos to full-blown criminal empire simulation. GTA San Andreas completely raised the scale, but not just that, it changed the conversation of the GTA storyline completely. It was much bigger than it just being crime for money now. It was about pride, identity, betrayal, and survival inside a system all built to keep you down. At its core, San Andreas was a story about color, a cause, and loyalty to a block. And you were fighting for Grove Street and not global domination. CJ, who was our protagonist, started as a street soldier. He was proof that even in a broken system with betrayal on all sides, you could still climb your way to the top, not by playing the game, but by mastering it. San Andreas was the game that introduced real game mechanics, from drive-bys to turf wars and territory control. CJ returned to Los Santos to find his set all in shambles. His set, who goes by the Grove Street family, was once feared and well respected, but was suddenly fractured and all scattered. But for the ballers, they have taken over every block, they tag is on every wall, they dealers is on every corner, and their money runs deeper than ever. And they wanted just more than territory, they wanted to erase Grove Street off the map complete. But CJ wasn't going for it, knowing he needed to put his set back on. His closest friends, Big Smoke and Ryder, had switched sides. Big Smoke aligned with the ballers and was backed by money and protected by a cop. He flooded the streets with dope, all while pretending to be loyal to CJ and Grove Street. And Ryder, that nigga ain't do nothing but follow him, chasing money over the principle. But the betrayal didn't just end there, cause Officer Tenpenny and his corrupted police squad were running the city. They was planting evidence, killing witnesses, and using CJ as a straight puppet to clean up their mess. But through it all, CJ still evolved and continued to rebuild what he once started. He went from taking on a cartel, making powerful moves in San Fierro, for casino heists and Las Venturas, and end the the end, he still came back to finish what he started. He took down Big Smoke in his own fortress, watched Tenpenny die running from the mess he made, and brought Grove Street back smarter, stronger, and unbreakable, even when your closest friends in a corrupted police system is against you.
Hey, I'll take a number 9, fat boy.
Give me a number 9, just like his.
Let me get a number 6 with extra dip.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
With Grand Theft Auto 4, the storyline to this game took a dramatic turn. Gone was the exaggerated neon vibes of Vice City and the gang wars of San Andreas. What we got instead was an emotional journey of the eyes of an outsider. Niko Bellic didn't go to Liberty City to build an empire. His goal was to chase the American dream, only to find a nightmare soaked in blood, betrayal, and broken promises. Roman, who was Niko's cousin, brought Niko to Liberty City for a fresh start, but all he did was find another battlefield. That bond was much real, but it was also much full of friction. Roman was begging Niko to stay clean, even as he was asking him to get dirty. One moment they were brothers, but the blood left on Niko's hand divided them into strangers each time. But it wasn't just Roman. From Dimitri, Faustin, and Ray, they all wanted something out of Niko. His depression and hatred for crime was showed in missions like Crime and Punishment. In this mission, he was robbing petty suspects to pay off favors, and in 3 Leaf Clover, he was seen robbing banks like a pro. But even after the biggest heists, there was no glory or celebration. There was just more bodies and more silence. After each mission, Niko was just left with emptiness. It's like he had no peace or purpose whatsoever. After trying to escape the violence for so long, he was given a deal from Dimitri, who originally sold him out the first time. Niko was left with a choice to take the deal or to take revenge. Both roads led to death, but the only question was who exactly had to pay. If he chose the deal, that would be him moving on to secure a future, but Roman would end up suddenly dying from Dimitri. And if he chose revenge, Niko would have to kill Dimitri, but the only person that gave Niko hope would suddenly lose her life shortly after. In both endings, yeah, Niko survived, but what's exactly left? The dream would be gone, the love would be buried, and the brother would be taken. He came to Liberty City searching for a better life, but the streets gave him nothing but grief. So no matter what ending you choose, Niko would still feel empty. He'd be a man that lost everything except the pain that never goes away. GTA 5 marked a new era where we got to see crime through 3 different characters. One was personal, one was psychotic, and one was corporate. Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, 3 men from 3 completely different worlds, all chasing something in the chaos of Los Santos. Michael was the pro. He was polished, sharp, he benefited the golf and therapy sessions, and he craved a lot of chaos. Franklin, he was addicted to money and the game, but he was smart enough to see the system was broken and hungry enough to hustle his way out of it. But Trevor, man, bro wasn't nothing but a meth dealing manic. But Trevor really had no fear, he had no filter, and if Michael was the mind and if Franklin was the ambition, this nigga was the madness. While Trevor drove on shock, Michael and Franklin treated crime like a business. Heist wasn't shoot and run anymore, they were planned like military ops. It started to become about building the right team, choosing the right method, and executing with precision. With things like disguises, drills, getaway plans, and cut percentages, and Michael and Franklin was on strategist level, and the street life was for the amateurs. And Trevor's story was really about total domination. Like, he was really fearless, and he just wanted full control over everything. And we seen that clearly when he murdered Ortega and threw his body into a river like a warning. He built an empire all from a trailer in the desert, cooking meth, running guns, and making deals with some of the most unstoppable people in Blaine County. The law didn't touch him, the city didn't understand him. He dropped in chaos, and he pretty much owned it. GTA 5 pretty much had a corrupt system too, with Steve Haynes and Dave Norton, and how they was manufacturing crimes and staging hits. They was using criminals as pawns in the federal game. And GTA 5 ended with a dramatic player choice, just like in GTA 4, with the 3 options being option A, kill Trevor, option B, kill Michael, or option C, the death whip, which is where they set a trap to take out all of their enemies, and all 3 protagonists survive together. The final scene is where they all meet at a cliffside and reflect on everything they have done. Trevor walks away satisfied, Michael actually retires for real, and Franklin finally earns freedom and respect. And that right there is the evolution of crime in the GTA series. Now if you made it this far in the video, man, may God bless you, like for real, cause that's tough. I hope you guys really enjoy, and I hope I gained a new supporter.